Looks like GameStop with a miss, huh?
Did they? Oh, you know what I it takes me a while to my
Oops.
soul on the East Coast anymore. I read the CEO has open reins to buy other equities. That's the only thing took away from that. Did you hear about that? So
No, like,
he's gonna
what
become
do you
like
mean?
a little hedge fund, Mr. GameStop.
Hmm.
Fucking pulling shit out of
Uh,
your head.
D-Dog caught an upgrade this morning. So did Biogen. So the biotech space, Jay, is still kind of feeling it a
Hot.
little bit out of nowhere.
Yeah. Especially the speculative small cap biotech space. Been real hot. Flow wise too. Flow wise too. I hear Lucci in the background. I hear things or somebody else.
Yeah, he's clicking around back there.
Oh, I thought I heard another voice.
He was on, and now he has disappeared. But he appears to be at least in the office today. I'm going to go ahead and set some expected ranges for SPY and SPX for the day. You got the big data coming tomorrow. I'm guessing we'll see a little bit of bouncing around again today in the ranges until you get that info, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's got to be some sort of shock for it to loosen things up in any sort of meaningful way. You know, I mean, you're gonna have some crack in the a job number tomorrow, maybe too soft, spook some folks. I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be tough to loosen things up from here until we get through this December expiration.
Good
It's
morning.
possible.
Now can you hear me?
We can hear you, Luke.
How do I
All
sound?
the money you piss away, can you buy a fucking microphone, a new microphone? I mean, it can't be that complicated. It can't be. This guy, a loaf of bread on each arm, and he's tinkering his microphone. Maybe there's a little screw loose here, a little screw loose there.
I don't think he eats bread. He might have a gluten allergy, so I don't know if that analogy holds for him, Jay.
I thought that was. I honestly still believe that is a white person only thing.
The gluten thing, I don't even know what that is.
The glue. I still don't even know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Me either. I'm white, so
They say it's
so
what
much for your
binds.
racial slur.
It's it's what binds the bread or something. I don't
And
know.
what, it's really bad for you?
I don't know, man. You know I don't
I
be
think you
listening to
keep
any of this
tabs
stuff.
on. I think you keep tabs on these things.
Okay. All right. My screen. Apparently, I got problems here getting my screen to show up here. So, Jesus, I'm going to defer to you. But let's make sure we talk about the Google, with the AI, the Bard update or whatever, because some news came out about their AI software, and
Yeah,
then
let me cut you off for a second because I'm a
sure,
little confused, and you
sure.
shouldn't be surprised by that. But the Google, that's what I thought. Bard. This is Gemini. What's this now? This is something different, or it's
Uh,
an updated version of the other
All
one?
right, well, check this out. Is getting an update today. The company claims will significantly enhance its capabilities. The company says Bard will now be powered by Gemini,
Gemini,
their
right?
their newest AI model, giving the chatbot
Ah,
more
okay.
advanced reasoning, planning, understanding, and other capabilities. AKA, you basic motherfuckers are going to be very replaceable in about 10 years, because
If not sooner, if
yeah.
not sooner.
You know what I mean? So you got to stop being basic out here and escalate your abilities here. They said before launching to the public here, Gemini Pro was run through a series of industry standard benchmarks. 6 out of 8 of those benchmarks, Gemini outperformed GPT three and a half. That includes better performance on the language understanding, blah 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 blah. GPT 3.5 is over a year old, which makes this launch feel more like a catch up rather than outperforming. Improvements will make Bard more capable in terms of things like understanding, summarizing content, reasoning, brainstorming,
Oh,
and writing
jeez.
and planning, which in reality are several things that you motherfuckers cannot even do. So you're
Amazing.
you're quite replaceable out here. let's also discuss the AMD as well. I think they were talking about a new chip that they're excited about, and they said might really be a competition to NVIDIA here. So if you take a look at AMD, we're up about 3 points here. 3.5 points here on AMD here. I think Chewy came out with earnings there too, which is pet name or whatever, the one that I think it's in your daughter's account, right, Jesus?
The one I'm burying my daughter's future in. Yeah. I mean, I can't. We were talking about this yesterday, just to get everybody caught up to date. Chewy, you guys know I'm a big dog owner. I own 9 of them currently. So kind of similar to the Ultra trade. A lot of women in my life who bang my bank account out, right? Try to invest in where all my money's getting spent, kind of making it back from the other direction. So that was the thesis behind it. But very quickly, listen to this. I bought it right after the IPO. If you remember, it came public and started tanking. Okay, so I bought it, figure a little under the 30 range, in the 20s, a couple different spots. Make a long story short, you guys know what happened after that. COVID, stock went to 120, I think near 120. Okay, so 20s to 120. But I didn't sell not one share because in my daughter's account, I kind of like to leave things alone, right? That's what I did with the Ulta, right? Not pay tech. That's why I'm buying it in my daughter's account, not in any of my accounts. And now this stock is trading, what is it, 17 this morning? So not only did I give all those profits back, 20 to 120, I am red on that position now, in the red. Oh. It's unbelievable. So now I don't know what to do. What do? Do you average down? Do you add to it? Because I still own dogs, with that thesis. I'm kind of like torn here, but that's the story.
I think you buy more because
you have to, right?
I think you buy more. I don't really think you have another choice here. To be quite
well, I'm not going to sell it here. That's the last thing I'm going to do. But it's just, do I add? And it's going to be in my daughter's account again. It's not. Maybe I wait to make a dent for the average down to make a big enough dent. But I'm thinking, little by little, add pieces again, and who knows what lies in the future? Because I have no intentions on selling it. But that's probably what I'm going to do. That's probably
we also have Chris here is in the chat here is calling out. JetBlue here this morning up 11%. Remember, the airlines have been really smoked out lately, but they have bounced from their lows. I don't know if you trade these things. Remember, oil has been shit in the bed. I don't know why, too. Do you know why oil's been so weak last 5 days?
Yeah. You got a couple of things. One, and here's the thing, and you and I spoke about this a couple of weeks, maybe months back now. Okay. If that rate cut, recession, or slow down, rate cuts come sooner trade, right, comes into fruition, right? If that's what's playing out in the markets, and that's what it is, oil's in a tough spot because demand issues, right? If the Fed is cutting rates, that means inflation's coming in. That means things are slowing down, and the demand for oil comes in, and that's a negative for energy. And that's kind of what you're seeing play out here. On top of other things, fires being put out, right? The holy war in the Middle East not really coming to fruition. So a lot of those tail risks being put away. But I think the slow down rate cut trade is getting priced into oil and spooking some folks, I must add, because a lot of people are saying, what do you believe now, equities, or do you believe energy in regards to the economy? Maybe it's indicating the economy is going to see a real slowdown come next year. So that's kind of the logic behind it right now.
Okay. All right. Anything else you got on the radar here? Anything else from yesterday?
This was the main thing I wanted to ask you guys, because I read it it was just over Bloomberg, and I didn't even dig into the headline, but supposedly the CEO of GameStop, if I read the headline correctly, is allowed to basically invest in other equities, almost as like a fund manager per se. Did you guys hear that?
I didn't hear that.
Maybe he's going to do that alongside that same idiot from Barstool Sports. Maybe those two can get together and be great stock pickers.
I'm wondering, is this the GameStop plan now? It went from video games, then NFTs, then now this guy's basically going to be a fund manager in growth stories he likes. almost like a CMGI of the crap of the world. Maybe I
It's
don't
like a
know.
Fellini movie. Why it did makes zero sense. Go be
But this is
go
what
be a
they
hedge
do,
fund
right?
manager then.
Yeah, well, that's they're pulling things out of their rear end. The
Mm-hmm.
AMC CEO did that. Remember, he's giving free tickets to movies. This, if you buy my stock, I'll come over to your house and hook you up. Those sort of things. And the stock reverse split and still gets hit over the head every time. So that's what GameStop is kind of doing here. The thing that comes to my mind is Lucci's short at what is that, FTX or whatever, which is a lot of money. That's every time I look at GameStop, that's what I think of right now.
Yeah, I mean GameStop. So it had earnings, I guess. I don't know how the earnings was. I didn't even look at it, but it's back down already.
What earnings? What are they earning off what?
I mean,
what's their business?
Listen,
for
man,
real?
you know what their business is?
What?
Selling Robux and
Robux?
selling Fortnite game packs. And selling Fortnite game
That's
packs.
what they do now?
That's what it is. Cloud, we just take a look at JetBlue. Yeah, man. Do you have a position? Let us know if you have a position. Hollywood Harvard is saying, what's the best option scalping platform? Let me tell you right now, if you're going to scalp options, you should have hotkeys. Depending on the size of your account here, you want to make sure you can get in and out very quickly. So I wouldn't recommend the Robin Hoods, and I wouldn't recommend those. You want to kind of step it up to E-Trade or a Fidelity or a Lightspeed, even if you want to do that. But there's tons of brokers out there. But listen, make sure and understand that you selecting your broker is not going to change your performance. It's not going to have any effect on your performance whatsoever. We got 3 minutes here to the open. Ronchero, what are you looking at, man?
So yesterday, I was poking around looking for breakouts. A couple of guys in the room had Rivian on their radar. I'm looking to see, because all of the stuff that I like to trade, including SPY, has just been garbage. It's just been bouncing around in a range, hasn't been really giving us good trading opportunities. And I'm looking for squeeze names, and Rivian is one that got put up by Kelman here in the room, and Bull Shark. This morning, it caught coverage initiated, so not really an upgrade, but it got initiated coverage, and it was feisty yesterday. So maybe we get some movement out of that. So it was initiated by Stiefel. And I mean, fuck all those guys. But if it's going to move and it's going to catch a squeeze, I don't mind taking a look at that. I've been trading some Microsoft recently. I'm also had a nice conversation with Charlie, and in the room, what we're going to add to on a weekly basis, and people in the room will be able to log in separately away from the Steamroom. So I'm going to do on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday separate segments. We'll go over long-term positions. We'll look at condors, and we'll look at some other stuff. So that's going to be a nice addition to what we've got going on in the room. Yeah,
very nice. One thing I want to throw out there is the Shopify. Actually, Ronchero, why don't you guys stay on Ronchero's screen, since I don't have my shit up. But to throw up Shopify on there, I guess they got a downgrade from Wedbush yesterday, and there was an investor day fucking mixed review kind of thing, and the stock's actually pulling back here. I'm kind of surprised here. Alongside with that Millie, which is down probably 80 or so points from the highs, even 100 points there from the highs. So interesting pullback there on Shopify and the Millie, considering most other names cannot pull back at all. By the way, a lot of people went heavy short at the close yesterday, and look what's going to happen to them this morning.
You cannot do that in this environment. This is just, I mean, if you don't recognize what's going on, I mean, it only takes some small size and a couple of days of, okay, this shit's not working, for you to stop doing that, right?
Indeed.
So, yeah, people are going to get freaking hammered out there.
And here's the bell. Bank of America had a huge reversal yesterday as well. Guys, I'm moving accounts here back to Interactive Brokers because I am a piece of shit and I lost fucking most of my trading capital here. So I got to re-up and start from scratch again. So I'm moving accounts here, and it's going to take me a couple of days to get back up and running here. I'm working on all that today.
SPX gapped and opened on the first upward expected move. So I'm going to check our GEX tool and see where we're at on the call wall.
GEX tool has been really spot on lately, just using it as kind of a guide. But again, as with anything, you don't want to use it to anticipate. You want to use it to kind of.
By the way, your microphone Lucci sounds amazing today. By the way.
Oh,
wait, what, Jay?
Ooh,
clear as ever. Is that a new mic? All kidding aside.
Nope, same mic.
Wow. This is the best it sounds, in a couple of weeks. I'm sure everybody would agree because it was pretty budget there for a little bit.
Budget.
Yeah.
Yo, check the Google.
457. Right, we're here right now. Here's the first call wall. Google.
Check the Google.
Working on it. Oh, that news turned all that shit around, huh?
Yeah, it did. Yes, it did.
Let's check this Rivian and see if I'm going to be able to. Yeah, it's not doing much here. Let's see if they come. If they come back in to buy this, maybe there's an opportunity. Yesterday, it was not a bad trade. I picked up December 29, 19 calls for $1. They went to $1.55. So it was actually a nice little trade, and I tried to stay in longer. I threw a stop in there at $1.25. They stopped me out, but it was a decent trade yesterday.
What do you do? Okay.
Your boy Lucci was shorting coin yesterday. I don't know if he had the stones to stay in it or not, but it had a nice gap fill. This morning they opened it on the 8 and the 5 day. And it's bouncing there. So I don't know if it's got more in it, but it was a nice trade.
Well, BTC did pull back. I mean, so as soon as the close, Chris actually called it out. As soon as the close happened, they sold the fucking thing like a good 1,000 points, man.
You got some more buying in Carnival, Cruise Line, CCL. That's an upside niner today, by the way, on CCL. So a bit extended. These cruise lines have been hot.
If you notice on the Rivian options, those December 29th, 19 calls, bid-ask spread is 20 cents wide. So they are doing a very good job if you're trying to get out of saying, fuck you.
Huh. Interesting. I think my best idea today is going to be wait for the dip on Google to see if you can get a dip on Google and
it's always difficult when they open the indexes on the upper or lower end of their expected move. And that's exactly what they did with SPX. So it makes it really difficult to do anything except sit and wait.
You got some of the big guys seeing the early flow. NVIDIA, Apple, Google active.
There it is. There it is. Here we go. I got it to work. But I think everything's a little offset though. Video, mirror, and then add. That fucking Google is gone, man. Natalia, tuviste. Yeah, fucking Google is gone. Where's the Apple? It's probably 194.5 on the Apple, back to highs of yesterday. That was after punking everybody out of the trade. I think you're going to 195 on this thing.
EPZ in their analyst day today updating their long-term targets. You now see annual global retail sales growth, excluding foreign exchange, of about 7%. That was towards the upper end of their previous guidance range.
Yep, they just have to shake everybody. You know what you could do is buy the Shopify. That's a weak one that you might be able to get around. But I like the Google for the bounce. But you got to wait for this thing to come back.
Hey, those of you, especially in the Steamroom, I know a lot of you guys like this SMCI. Just looking at it on a technical area, if you want to put some risk on, this is not a bad spot for bounce. It's better down at 225, but if you want to take a crack at it, semiconductors are looking decent today. You might get some movement out of that, but this is not an easy one to trade directionally. So just take that with a grain of salt, but it's not at a bad spot to try.
Cosmos Health CEO has signed an entering agreement to acquire rights for a WIPO filed patent on drug targeting the CNS cancers. Charlie Oscar, Sierra Michael.
Charlie Oscar Sierra Michael. Guys, take a look at the Apple here. I think you're going to get 195 on this. That's another. I like that trade as well.
They came in buying a little NVIDIA this morning too. 462 and a halves for Friday.
Where is that trading? Because that had a huge reversal day yesterday. But again, you can't get too cocky.
Exactly.
It looks like somebody else is buying those 195s there, Jesus. Looks like you had a 195 buyer there for about $250,000. That's interesting.
This looks like a little medical biotech name, INGN, seeing some early action. But mostly the big guys here early on off the open, seeing the bulk of the momentum type action. Let's see some active lines.
Momos.
The mopes.
192.
One of those biotechs caught a buyout yesterday. Did anybody step in shit and happen to catch that? I know a few of you were talking about that CERE.
CERE.
I think that's a symbol.
And it's all, you know what it is today? It's all Fat Man today. Yesterday it was not, and today it might be.
It might be.
It might be. Take a look at that apple. Take a look at that apple. Apple fresh highs. This Google here is starting to go back up there too. I like the Google. Yeah, SPY back at highs.
More Google calls.
Yep. What are they buying? They're buying 139s here for next week. You got some
Next week.
rollers. Some rollers. Apple here almost 195. Google did hit highs. Let's take a look at that AMD.
Hey, those of
Wow.
you who are in long-term and long-term Costco, we're almost back to all-time highs. So this is an area where you've got to consider rolling. If you're in this position, consider rolling up. And at the same time, You could try to write a little bit here, and if it breaks through the all-time highs, you convert and catch a double direction move.
Things got kind of quiet here. I mean, all the action, the big guys off the bell. We'll see what it looks like post 10 o'clock.
A small fade here on the Google.
Wholesale inventories at 10, and then at 11 o'clock, well, 10:30, you got the gas report. At 11 o'clock, you got a bunch of...
Emphasizing Germany is willing to find an agreement on EU fiscal rules.
EU fiscal rules.
There's a bunch of monthly bill announcements at 11. So you got the 3-month bill, 6-month bill, 3-year note, 10-year note, 30-year bond, 4-week bill at 11:30, and also at 11:30 the 8-week bill auction. Consumer credit at 3, Fed balance sheet at 4:30.
Damn.
Busy day.
Sounds like a lot of shit.
Tomorrow you got jobs and consumer sentiment.
Yeah, I went to a fucking mezcal tasting last night, man, and I got fucking wasted, bro.
You get wasted every night, huh?
Shit.
I can't do mess. I've tried. Listen, I went to Oaxaca purposely to try and find.
That's the center.
Exactly.
That's the center of it all.
I don't get it. I have to figure it out. I went. I still don't get it. I can't do mezcal. I don't get it.
What a life, huh, Jesus? Motherfuckers like, I don't get this. I'm gonna go to this other country to see if I can figure this out.
Unbelievable.
Shit. Smitty here in the chat room here tests a week long 1,000 shares from 240.80. Interesting. Video here just kind of dumped out. If you take a look at the Google here, it's kind of selling here too. Might have to wait here for the swing up on this. Let's take a look at the AI. AI got dusted, huh? Dusted. Most of the GEX tool is showing trading around 0 gamma basically, and when you're trading around 0 gamma, you don't have much. You don't have much game here versus, you're just kind of fighting against the programs here.
There ain't shit.
So you kind of have to let this breathe a little bit, let this chill a little bit, and then see if you can find names that are moving without the indexes. Supposedly there's some small cap going on this morning, this MLGO. If you take a look at this MLGO, this thing is halted here. Stock closed at like 7 and change yesterday, and then opened up at 19. Well, no, got to 19, opened up at around 13 and a half here. Take profits in the room here, saying, bro, in Ron's defense, mezcal is jewelry cleaner.
That's a good use for it, I think.
Man, I liked it.
What did so like? What was there a producer? Was there a certain?
Yeah, it was kind of like a distributor that was doing a presentation, basically for one of their new inventory items or whatever. And the mezcal, of course, was from Oaxaca,
as it should be.
Oaxaca.
Let's see. Some closing action.
All right. Anybody buy that shop? Kind of interested if anybody bought it. Google here to me still looks strong. All this stuff still looks strong. Let's see if SPY here can make a move.
Visitor goes on saying it's not a major issue if the 2024 budget is not finalized by the end of the year.
Oh no.
PXD getting some flow. Me and Jesus used to play this thing.
Yeah, that was used to be your favorite stock. I thought PXD was bought. I think it's bought out.
Dude, that
They've
thing
been
used to
acquired.
be a great trader. PXT
Mhm.
was the other one, and then
Wasn't
it had
PXD? I think Chevron bought them. Someone bought them,
I remember those.
or ExxonMobil maybe bought them.
You're still buying AMD, huh? This is a tough, tricky spot on AMD.
Yeah, pretty light action out there because the focus on the mega caps. Not really any underbelly action yet.
The mega caps.
Just that little biotech so far.
Nothing going in that little squeeze name I was looking at, Rivian. It's reversing, actually. So maybe they squash everybody before they bring it right back down to the level where they started buying it again, which is very close to where we're at right now. What other squeeze bullshit is going? D-Dog catches an upgrade and they sell it. You gotta love analysts.
Commentary from Iranian President Raisi saying that genocide is unfolding in Gaza.
Man, fucking genocide, bro.
They're coming from Iran towards Israel and Gaza, sanctions in Gaza.
There goes that INGN off the sweeper activity, that biotech.
Inogen reminds me of Initech.
Okay, so we got a pullback coming here on SPY. This is starting to look kind of interesting.
Oh, that's cheap. Hertz looks like Hertz catching a little nibbling. That's a squeeze name, but some just nibbling.
You're listening to Trade the News.
You're listening.
You're listening. Yeah.
Jay, what did they buy on that INGN?
What line you mean?
Yeah, what'd they grab?
Yeah, they played the Jan 5s.
January 5s. And it's trading well above that.
I still
Bid-ask
like
spread
the
on
Apple.
the equity is sloppy.
Yeah, it's a little guy. Amazon. Now you got a little put flow in the mega cap. Same old story. What are they fading? Buy calls go up, buy puts go down. Are they faded the mega caps? Is that what's going on here? Let me see. Not really, right? A little bit. I don't. These fucking stocks. I have no idea.
Jay, take a breath, man.
But
Take a breath.
huh? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Settle down.
What did I do?
You just went through this whole little thing about what they're trying to figure out, and then at the end of it, you're like, I don't know. That's where you just got to take a breath.
Oh.
I'm worried about you.
Lily down 8.
Lily's down 8, huh? Where to? Okay.
Man, it looks like the same shit it's been doing, right? Pretty
Yeah.
much.
A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is looking weaker.
We've reached an agreement to accelerate the resumption of flights between China and the European Union.
From the German Finland saying there's 90% agreement right now between France and Germany on EU fiscal goals.
Mergers and acquisitions. Yeah, it looks like this PXD was bought by Exxon.
Well, it's still
So I
trading.
think this is old news. I'm not giving you new news. I'm just saying they're probably playing arbitrage between this and Exxon. We see flow in this PXD still.
CRWD, that's your boy. Oh, so that's a fake breakout right there, man. See, I would short the shit out of this. The problem is that
Which one?
trade is not working. CRWD, take a look at CRWD.
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 Well, define not working.
What do you mean not working? I mean,
I
fake
think
breakout.
Lucci's trying to make the point. It's getting tired here.
Well,
Oh,
no,
yeah, okay.
I'm looking at the fact that it had a consolidation, broke out from that
Yep.
consolidation. Everybody goes long. Now you punk everybody, and we should extend back to the downside. However, in this market, we don't fucking do that.
This stock
WBA,
is
some more squeeze action in Walgreens. Finally moving a little bit. That WBA, CVS caught a little fire the last couple of days. WBA, you got some Jan 25s and weekly 22 calls. Catch and play here. And these are stocks that didn't participate at all up until probably the last 2 days. This week, definitely. APLS, little repeat buying in that's a biotech. Apple, Peter, Larry, Sam, December 66 calls. And you got that ALT, another biotech, catching some tack on buying. Apple, Larry, Tom.
Check out the Eli Lilly today. You got a decent sell on that Eli Lilly.
The Altimmune ALT December 10s seeing the action.
Nice rally back on SPY, which is straight in the face of many continued frustrated short traders. All right. What do you guys got? What are you guys up to? What are you guys trading? Let us know what you guys got and what you're thinking.
Take a walk
here
around the
for
club,
today.
Luch.
Can I? Is my shit even working? Oh, yeah, it is working. All right. Let's take a walk around. Remember, Google and Apple being the strongest tech names here on the open. Seeing a small rotation of banks right now. If you look at BAC, JPM, Goldman Sachs, and Citigroup, you're seeing a small rotation back up on the banks. If you take a look at the IWM, that's the index that looks the strongest. So keep an eye on that one. Let's take a look at the Tesla. Tesla looks kind of just meh. By the way, there's still a lot of put buying we're seeing on Tesla for a couple of weeks out. There's still a good amount of put buying that we're seeing, which is very interesting.
$445.
All right, let's keep it going around the club here. CRWD here. We were talking about that one, just kind of failing from the highs. Let's take a look at the shop and the Melly here. They're just kind of both kind of dead there. Let's take a look at oil. Oil flat here. Gold here, just kind of flat here too. Treasuries here. Treasuries had a nice 2-day run, which is very interesting here. Let's take a look at the AMD. AMD traded up to 123, which is basically a couple of highs there from yesterday.
You got and some rolling there. So a little spec action and some rolling in Roblox.
That Roblox hit like 41 and change the other day. Where is that Roblox trading? Roblox is now trading 40 and a half here. Let's take a look at pins and Snap. Snap was the stronger of the two here. Let's take a look at GME, 14 and a half, hit 1470. Peloton, still no move higher.
Yeah, somebody downgraded it. Remember the other day? While it was moving, rained on that parade.
Man, let's check back in with that Spotify there. Remember that Spotify hit about $200 the other day. Pulled back here again, now trading 193. Let's go back to that Google here. I still like the Google. SPX so far bounced off the current put wall. There's a put wall here at 45.65, and the call wall is way higher. FYI.
Where's the Trump wall? Ah!
I mean, it's just a laugh that made it terrible.
Well, I've been running that line every day on you guys. So
That was a Howard Dean-esque laugh.
Howard Dean, remember Howard Dean?
Yeah.
Holy, yeah.
What? You just conjured him.
Yeah. Apple December 200s. No idea if they're clean, but December 200s. Seeing some volume there. ALT, that's highs of the day and over yesterday's high in that biotech ALT. Up a stick. GTHX, did you play it? Or you just reminding us? That's that little guy, right?
It's little.
Yeah, $2 stock, I think. What is it?
Yeah.
265. That's a biotech reason they talked about. Caught some action yesterday.
Manage your trade.
December 2.5. Spec biotech still hot this morning. How's that TGTX doing? That caught a lot of action yesterday. That's up a little more. Some continuation. Tom X-Ray.
One minute to the top there. I'll get October final wholesale inventory data month for month expected minus 0.2%. Wholesale trade sales expected plus 1%.
Yeah, had a nice pop, GJT, right off it. All right, so we got some economic data in a minute. Looks like the momentum chasers and the mega caps kind of slow down a bit. Still active. We'll see post 10 o'clock. You know, you get that excitement off the opening bell. A lot of times you'll see a different character post 10, 10:30. But again, I just think on a name-by-name basis, you got to look at this market. Otherwise, you're pulling hair out of your head.
Well, and if you don't get what you're looking for, don't freaking trade.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not your environment, I mean, you don't play.
So inventory is minus 0.4%. That's 0.2 lower than expected. Wholesale trade sales minus 1.3% versus plus 1% expected.
This looks good. Caught the you got that ADSK. Caught those risk reversals. They didn't come back for any more yet. but up a little bit today. Looking to break out of a huge consolidation in that auto desk.
We've got a great Autodesk story back in when we had the crash in 2008.
Yeah.
I know somebody who put $2 million to work on Autodesk.
Buying buying blood, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Turned over $250 million.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Looks like the airlines getting some play again today in the squeeze. Roblox, these are cheap. Let me just post the lines there. Roblox a bit active today. Oh, I didn't post a Delta? What the fuck? I hit that 10 times.
Atlantis and Ample establishing a partnership to leverage their modular battery swapping technology. Sierra Tango Lima Alpha.
Oh, shit. What did I do? Walgreens up a stick. Sentiment a non-factor. My market hasn't been doing the thing for sentiment to be any sort of factor. Short-term sentiment has cooled a little bit overall from the chop. Hood, you got some more action coming into Hood. They've been all over this name for a week straight. They were calling it a Bitcoin play. Not as active this morning, but you got some more bullish position in there. See, the only good thing about some of these other laggards like the biotechs and kind of Walgreens, CVS, and even they have moved now. These Hood names like Hood have been in play for 10 straight days. So they, this is an outright chase in all these things. If you get a dip in them and they come back, that's a different story. But you want to see some sort of breather at some point. What's a firm doing? Please don't be up. Please don't be up. Ah, thank God. I can't watch that stock go up anymore. MDB, nice couple day pull off numbers. Mary David Bullock. Citigroup.
All right, I'm going to take 5 and grab some coffee. I'll be back.
Go ahead, Mr. Montero. All right, so here are the active lines this morning in the WBA. There was an interesting note last night. I don't know if you guys in the room saw it from a Goldman trader who was talking. His trade is to short the cyclicals. So putting a kibosh to that rotation. And that was McElliott's thesis as well, his latest note, but to take place early next year. Shop, little weekly nibbling. You got some, looks like some put selling in Walgreens, some light put selling, WBA. Where is that shop? There was another little sweep there. Let me post the lines. Hold on.
So President Lula saying he still believes in the Mercosur EU trade agreement.
Yeah, so you see some of these WBAs are hitting the board as put buyers. Those are put sellers, FYI.
Wow. Yeah. WBA. Take a look at this thing. Walgreens. I never trade this
Nice
thing.
action there in the squeeze.
I never trade this thing. It looks like oil is also squeezing a little bit. So if you look at XOM and CVX, but again, the actual light and sweet is not moving at all. Meanwhile, Bank of America is rallying.
Bank of America's down?
Bank of America is rallying.
Oh, rallying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the banks look okay, the banks. They look really good. That's a roll. What are the home builders doing? We saw a $4 million, was it $4 million or $2 million sweep in Lenore yesterday, LEN.
Mm.
Thing's a monster.
Lenart, really?
Yeah, big guy yesterday.
Wow. And these things still haven't pulled back, man.
No, they pulled back and they bought the pullback and then they new highs again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a little buying Fed calls in Intel. That had a nice little dip for those of you who were waiting for a dip. All right, it was tough to add into that rip. Thing went up pretty violently, but now you got a dip if you are interested. You got some nibbling in Fed calls there in Intel. Washed out the Pink Panther and all. Google, what was that? Oh, that's bull flow in Google. Let me see what's going on there. It's still up 6, Google.
All right.
roll.
if you notice, Spy's just dancing here. So you're not going to get much direction here out of Spy here. So that also means for choppy tape in general here. So I would chill and wait until you got something fucking juicy here. Q's is, if you look at the Gex tool here, Q's, Spy, and SPX are just trading around their zero gamma, the GWAP, so to speak. And that's it. So it's looking pretty blah. NVIDIA back up to about 460. I don't think anybody cares.
Tesla, I don't know if there are any clean March puts.
For Google.
No,
Google?
Tesla March puts.
You gonna buy it?
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
You gonna buy it? Amazing. Amazing.
Uber seeing a little more bull flow. Looks like a little rolling there again. This thing is cooked flow wise anyway.
I like the Apple long. I like the Google long.
Yeah,
as well.
Apple, you got some Jan bull flow in Apple.
They're buying January 200s. So it's all swing though. Netflix is now, wow. Yeah. Spy is at higher days. Where did we start selling off from yesterday? It was all the way up to 458. Most of the programs there. I think we could go back to 458, man. If we go back to 459, that will be a complete fuck you again to every single short out there. And it's very possible that we could do that. So keep that in mind there, guys.
Feels like we've been doing that for like 2 weeks, no?
Exactly. We really have been.
AMD December 125. What's interesting about AMD, the day before the conference yesterday, they bought March calls, which was as good as you're going to see in these names. The stock went down, if I remember correctly, yesterday. Caught a little bit of buying after the event. Stock did nothing. And then today gapped up, but the event was yesterday, wasn't it?
The event was yesterday.
Whether it was more after the bell yesterday, possibly, I don't know. Kind of delayed reaction.
AMD, somebody just bought some December next week calls here. I kind of like that. I kind of like that trade.
72 and a half.
MasterCard and Visa, by the way, if you take a look at MasterCard, it's coming back. The move that it had from a couple of days ago on the short side or on the weak side. So it's eating that back up already.
That squeeze name Wish, W-I-S-H, little bull nibbling.
Here comes Spy, fresh. I like.
Oh, is that what happened, GJT? Because I thought it was weird. That had to be the case. So GJT saying the price of that AMD chip came out overnight after the conference.
Yeah, I like I like us to hit 458. Natalia, you have a long? You know that key. Yo, there's only 12 claims right here. I'm looking again at the claims on FTX.
Yeah, what do you mean? 12 in total? 12 people claiming what you were claiming, that there's money there?
Well, there's only 12 active claims here, and it's international individual. They name them as U.S. individual, institutional, U.S. and the two institutions.
Oh, maybe the claims, there's only 12 claims, but probably some of those claims are massive, probably. You know what I mean?
80
Like groups.
89 million. There's an $89 million
groups up.
claim here. Yeah.
Maybe the same house, all from the same firm or shit like that.
Can you imagine this claim, man? $89 million, man?
Yeah, it was probably like a mini firm or house that had decent money there. I'm sure, as big as they were.
Yep.
That's
Exactly.
a travesty. If that happened in the equity world, forget it.
Right. It's true.
You remember what's his name did that? It wasn't really equities though. Corzine. Remember Corzine?
Yeah, John Corzine, the fucking MF Global guy.
Yeah.
Fucking MF Doom.
Fucking Corzine.
Fucking Corzine.
He was like a little mini Madoff, right? He was he ran for office. What was he? Somewhere, I think, of Jersey. Wasn't he like senator of Jersey or some shit? He was the CEO of Goldman. The guy was considered
he was
a god.
Everything. Yeah, he was everything.
Yeah. This guy from FTX was a hobo off the street who couldn't even brush his hair. That's what I think everybody is shocked about. This guy strolled out of the sewer, he looked like.
Google. So Google, you even got some put buying here. So Google has some interesting activity.
Google's a little messy overall there. Here, I'll show you what's going on.
Yo, Ozzy. My bad. Ozzy, how'd it go with your GitLab position? I know Ozzy was long some shares on that GitLab here. Ozzy is the guy in the room, folks. What were you going to say, Val?
No, nothing important. By the way, Ozzy, you would appreciate it. Yes, Ozzy basically owns all the open interest in Bros, the coffee name. His position, he's got like 1,000 contracts or some shit like that, and he's trying to find a window to get out. But he's everybody. Ozzy supposedly, maybe he's just playing wet behind the ears, is new to the option world. By the way, Lucci, you realize this?
Yeah, he asked it. Yeah.
So his third trade of his career, is basically he owns the open interest of Dutch Brothers, the fucking bros. Nut job. He's nuts. He's swinging around size over here. He's on his fourth trade. He got people in the room trying to front run him. Kellerman's trying to front run him yesterday.
On GitLab?
No, on Bros.
Yo,
Joking around.
You got some interesting Google puts here going on, man. That is very interesting, guys. Take a look at the 3-4 sweeps on that Google. I'm sure that's on the radar now too, or at least it's on the radar here. SPY's going up, but meanwhile, Google has got some interesting put buyers here.
You got a little bull spec bet on Soxel. That's the levered semiconductor ETF, only about 50 grand, weekly 22 and a halves. The semi showing a little bit of strength.
Yeah.
They are in consolidation, like some of the other crowded names.
You got SPY fresh high here. Oof. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, I got a bunch of
Twilio.
Oh, you really? We're gonna let him do that?
It was overdue. Twilio, some sweeper activity.
Silver's saying 2 standard move for the day right now, right into where the gap is, and this is this is more of the fuckery, man. They make you come in for that short. And are you going short or long?
Twilio had some good-looking June
news.
sweeper activity at lower levels
Okay.
as well. This thing's kind of been grinding higher.
All right.
What are you all writing about there?
Scheduled claim.
He's talking to himself again.
So, okay. So how would it work, right? So I got a claim here. Let me just show it to you guys here, just so you can see it. All right. So this claim is for $89 million, right? Now, what they're saying is that most people, 90% plus, are going to get their money back, right? But you got to wait through bankruptcy court. You got to wait through all this shit. So, they're saying the claims now, because of the news that came out, and they apparently had some good investments. I guess FTX had a good investment that yielded like $4 billion. So they supposedly have enough of the cash, right? So the claim shot up. They went from 30% all the way up to like 50%. So you come in and you would technically pay $50 million for this claim, and then to sit on it for a semi guaranteed profit of double your money if you can get it for 50% off. I mean, would you do it? All right, so let's put it to you guys. Would you do this? And it might not, it's not a guaranteed 2 years. It could take longer than that. It could take 3 years. It could take 4 years for you to get your money back. Would you do it? Is the question. I think it's a good bet. I think it's a really good bet.
You got unusual sweepers adding in that alt ALT at the highs.
What is this company's name? West Realm Shires. West Realm Shires.
ALT up 25%. Better than a sharp stick in the eye.
Oh, the claim is FTX US. So this is FTX US, doing business as FTX US. So FTX US had all this staked in there. What the fuck? That should be less of a priority than everybody else. Man, I don't know, man. That shit is wild. That shit is wild. Anyways. Steven is saying, who decides who gets what? Is it a judge or some firm? This is just bankruptcy court at that point. Yeah, Steven. So FTX US has the claim because they had the cash sitting in the FTX offshore account, which doesn't make any sense because they're not allowed to do that. I don't know, man. That's very interesting, though. That is very interesting. You guys are talking about Twilio, but it looks like shit to me. Why are we even talking about this Twilio? Oh, because there's
He
a
just
put buyer. There's a call buyer. My bad.
Jay just felt like breaking into Sing Song.
Yeah, it was exactly. That's what did it. That has a tendency to get people riled up.
Look, man, I was
Lucci, you know
trying.
what that's from?
What song?
You're a movie buff. Where I got that from? The Twilio.
No, I don't know where you got that from. Where did you get that from?
Remember Easy Money, Rodney Dangerfield?
Oh, wow.
Remember when the Spanish guy's calling his wife Julio? The wife is in.
Yeah.
Addison, I am the man.
Yes.
He's talking from the bush.
There you go. Meta back to highs
Julio.
here. Meta back to highs here. So Fat Men names here are still in the show. Remember, if you take a look at LVS and Win here, these are the weakest. This is the weakest sector right now. Casinos. This is the weakest sector right now. Besides oil, oil is also another one, but weakest sector is fucking casinos, and maybe that fucking Baba, which is just the biggest piece of shit.
Intel, you got, what do we got? 8,300 of those Fed calls and some opening Fed action there. Intel buying the dip.
For Google. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, that one's not looking too good. Listen, guys, 2 minutes here before we move over to the stream. I know it's vacation time here, so a lot of you guys are in and out for most of the day.
More color here from Domino's.
Ranchero, what was that thing that you guys are talking about working on for the room this morning?
So we're going to start doing different segments.
Okay.
So on a weekly basis, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So Mondays, we're gonna break off. We'll do like an hour away from the main steam room, but we'll set up a link and we'll discuss long-term positions. So the leap strategy, as you guys know, we've been long Amazon and Costco. We were also long CrowdStrike. So those positions all did really well. On Wednesday, we'll look at condors, and on Fridays, people liked the small account challenge, so we're going to continue to trade the small account and do small account reviews on Fridays. So we're going to add those segments to the show.
All righty. And guys, you get access to all that inside the room, along with many other tools that we use here, free for you guys on the stream here while we open up the day. But again, you guys will get access to these tools all day, and there's a lot of analysis tools that you can do, flagging orders, pinning orders, make sure you don't forget these kind of things. I'll tell you what, for me in particular, I've seen, and actually before we kick out, and I don't know if we already kicked out here, but before we kick out, there's been some very interesting orders on the Tesla for me. So if we, and by the way, you can do this yourselves here when you get access to the room. You can go ahead and just kind of look back at the last week or the last month for certain orders that you wanted to flag. There's been some interesting put buyers in Tesla that were out of the money. I mean, this guy right here, but this one's out to July. And if we keep going, remember, you can go like a month back here if you really wanted to. But I saw like 195s, 235s, like a lot of put buyers for next week on the Tesla here. And I think I got to go back like a month. And they were kind of lottos, but at the same time, it's interesting, man, because Tesla, if you look at Tesla, it hasn't really been doing much. So the question is why? We're never going to know why, right? We just want to know that these things are getting bought or sold. That way we can either flag it for some momentum, which is what we do, by the way, for you on the Momo scanner. And this does it automatically for you, right? So if there's 3 orders in a row or within a certain small period in time, and by the way, you can adjust that criteria as well for your and build kind of your own Momo scanner. So we kind of do that for you there too. So we're kind of looking for momentum ideas. We're looking for swing ideas, but this is a good place to start cooking up ideas and then moving towards the tape here to find timing, execution, and things like that. So it's a great tool here for all your options traders, and especially the freaking Gex tool is monster here. If you guys are trading SPY, SPXs, and I know you are, you fucking junkies. So yeah.
Well, we also have on that Gex tool. We also have the Qs, Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft. So
Indeed.
and they keep adding. So it's really nice.
Indeed. So you can see, you'll come over here. You have this Gex tool, and you can either pop it out or you can keep it inside the room. And we keep adding new names. So right now we have the SPX, ES, SPY, Qs, Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft. And eventually here, we'll get them for a good amount of the heavy liquid names that we all trade on a daily basis. Anyways, kick over to the Steam Room here, guys. Have a great day and have a great weekend. I might not be here tomorrow. I am playing a beach tennis tournament on another random island tomorrow. Yeah, baby. Later, guys. Later.